Hello, it's Auto Champ Wandelen over here. Now, today I have a very big question to ask all of you. Has driving pleasure been diluted by modern cars of today? We're year 2025, and all I keep seeing is electric cars and cars with massive touch screens. I'm not gonna lie, the touch screens are cool. And speaking of modernized cars, I don't really know why people keep saying electric cars are that bad. I mean, I personally like electric cars. I personally think the answer to this question is no. Modern cars have not diluted driving pleasure. If anything, modern cars has kind of forced driving pleasure to be more creative, if whatever I said just made any sense. Here's what driving pleasure really means. Back in the days, it was all about, the power of the car, the engine power, the ease of reading the dialogues. Well, not dialogues, I mean the gauges, right. Speedometer, rev meter, brum, 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 brum. Oh my goodness, you just push that accelerator. Next thing you know, the car screams. Ah, the good old days. Italian cars, French cars, all sorts of cars. It was endless. Now, we're entering a generation where I just get in the car, bloop, start the car, and I don't even hear the engine. I just hear the electric motor doing, I don't know what electric cars sounds they make. Sometimes this transition, which we experienced when it comes to driving pleasure, this comparison between classic cars and cars of today, it's just like changing the rooms. Now let me just express my perspective of this whole thing. I disagree that modern cars diluted driving pleasure. And here's my reason why. Each year, car manufacturers are releasing brand new cars that are really interesting. And me personally, there are a number of new cars that I quite like. Like, for instance, the Porsche Taycan. Everybody has been saying something about the Porsche Taycan. They say that it's not a real Porsche and that it's electric. It's just not the same thing. But I don't know why. There's just something I like about the Porsche Taycan. Maybe it's just the design. Maybe it's the configuration of wheels you can choose. It's so cool. I like it. I don't care about the engine sound. In fact, we're living in a generation today where it's not exactly easy to be owning a car with a massive engine and with a loud engine sound, if you know what I'm saying. Nowadays, environmental initiatives are being pursued. And for that, cars need to be eco-friendly. And this is an initiative I'm a fan of, actually. This is great. We need to protect the environment. We need to pursue it. And this is why it's so cool how car manufacturers have been quite creative about this, whether it meant influence on production cost or, yeah, that's true. Maybe there were some infamous decisions taken like cost cutting, which equally meant reduction in quality. That is true, and this is why I'm not a fan of certain modern cars, like what BMW did with certain cars, the electric cars especially. Like the 5 Series used to be nice. What they did 10 years ago was, oh my goodness, chocolate fondue. It was so good. But now the new 5 Series, it looks nice. It's more techy, but there's just something about it that I don't know. Like when I sat on the back seat, it felt very different. From the exterior, it looked like an X1, but without its suspension, all the way down. And I had the same thing to say about Mercedes and the Volkswagen Group. Mercedes, I think when it comes to modern cars, it is true Mercedes kind of lost the plot with the design of the EQ classes. The design of the EQ classes isn't exactly my favorite, but it is something unique, right? The Volkswagen Group, they approached it quite interestingly. Like when it came to the Porsche Taycan, they did a great job. But when it comes to the Volkswagen cars, I mean, it is a hot seller, a popular company car. But then, again, it's all about selective taste. And this brings me down to the conclusion of the question, the big question. Did modern cars dilute driving pleasure? You know what I have to say? The answer to it is it's all depends on perspective. Me personally, I'll say no, because it has forced us to be innovative. And it's not about buying an expensive car and only then you get the driving pleasure. All cars of today can have driving pleasure. It's all about picking the right car. That's right, you have to look carefully. Look at the car manufacturer, look at the model, look at the engine size and the option list. Then only you can decide that, this is the ideal car for today. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment in the comment section below sharing your thoughts of modern cars and whether they still retain the good old driving pleasure that classic cars once possessed. I personally am convinced that there's no compromise, but I always encounter people who say otherwise.